I left home at 13 because my dad was physically and sexually abusing me. And so I moved in with an aunt and lived with her, and then I got worried about my mom, so I moved back, and then eventually I moved out and I took my mom with me. I am Lasely Edwards. I'm a registered nurse, and I'm from Canada, British Columbia, Canada. I started nursing school in 1980, and I put myself through nursing school and high school. I left home at 15. And I graduated out of nursing school in 1986 with my RN degree. And then I moved to the States, United States, in 1986. And I continued to live there. And I've been there for all of this time.
Now, can you tell us a little bit of your childhood, your experience, and how your tough experience as a child sharpened your faith until you are here now?
Yeah, I started out doing cardiac care in high-risk surgical care, taking care of people that had had high-risk surgeries and open heart surgeries. And then I went to neonatal intensive care, taking care of premature babies. And then from there I went to working with a company that does a lot of triage, telephone triage, and walk-in clinic, and help people stay home and take care of themselves first, and then they would come to the doctor if they needed to. And then from there I've done home care, going to people's homes. I've done hospice with the people dying at home, and education is a big one of mine. I taught the Certified Nursing Assistant program for 10 years. And then I've also worked in the prisons as a registered nurse, taking care of prisoners. So I've done quite a bit.
Now, can you tell us your worst season in your life, the days that you can never forget, and what did you go through? Or maybe there's somebody outside there passing whatever you passed when in your worst season, and how did you overcome?
You mean the worst part of my life?
Yes.
Like something traumatic?
Yes.
I left home at 13 because my dad was physically and sexually abusing me. And so I moved in with an aunt and lived with her, and then I got worried about my mom, so I moved back, and then eventually I moved out and I took my mom with me, and my baby sister. And then from there, I've just been a survivor, living on my own and taking care of people, and that's my most important thing, is to take care of people and help them to get to a better place in life.
And how did you overcome?
I received the Lord Jesus Christ at 8 years old, and I have walked with Him through highs and lows in my life. And He is the only reason I'm here. Many times I did not want to live. I would rather have died, but it was not my time, and He kept me going, and He has brought me now to here, because this is what I've wanted to do all my life, is to help others in foreign countries.
Wow. At what age did you leave home when you were sexually abused by your father?
I left at 13.
At 13 years old. Well, and you survived until now.
Yes, I am a survivor. Yeah.
Now, tell us your current situation. How are you? How is your family and everything? Do you have a family?
Yes, I have 2 brothers and 2 sisters, and they're all in Canada. And my mom and dad both passed away in 2008 and then 2012 for my father. And before he passed away, it was a very healing experience. He apologized for what he had done to me. And there is something to be said about forgiveness, because once I was able to forgive him, it was all washed away. It was like nothing had ever happened.
Wow.
And before that, I did nothing but hold on to the anger against him. And it actually ruined my relationships with my husband, because I couldn't trust men for the longest time because he had hurt me.
Sorry.
Right? But once I got that forgiveness, that he apologized, my whole life changed. And so I tell people, please forgive those that have hurt you, because it doesn't matter. They're not the ones hurting. You are the one that's hurting by holding that all in. So if you forgive and give it to Jesus, you will be much happier.
Wow. I know that it ruined your marriage. Okay, right?
Yes.
And now after healing, after that healing process, how did you go? Did you reunite with the husband, or what happened after that?
No, I never wanted to leave my husband, actually. He was the one that wanted to leave me, and he actually had his daughter beat me up.
Yes.
His daughter was addicted to meth.
Yes.
And her baby had been taken away. So he used her to get me out of the house and get me out.
So as you were just talking about now how he mistreated you, her daughter beating you up, the husband.
Yeah, so I left that marriage and returned home to my house in Washington State, because I was in Montana with his house. And then I just continued on with my own life, working part-time, and that was it.
So which means when you say her daughter beat you, which means he had another wife?
No, he didn't have another wife. He had his daughter. He had been married before.
Okay.
He had a daughter.
Yeah.
She was a drug addict. The baby had been taken away. The father had the control over the baby. So and he couldn't do anything to me because he would have lost his guns permits, and she actually went to jail after beating me up. And then I have a lifetime restraining order if things turn out. But she gave me a concussion, torn rotator cuff, and then she hurt my knee. And then she got out of jail, and life went on for them, and I went home and dealt with my own life.
And I think that was also another trauma for another period.
He supposedly was a Christian too. Yeah.
Christian?
Yeah. A Christian man. But he was a liar. And he also had an addiction to pornography that I didn't know about. I found out later from his mother.
Okay. You must have gone.
It was very traumatic.
And you must have gone through a very tough situation.
Yes, and my boys were very upset with everything that he put me through.
How are they now? Have they healed over it?
My sons, they just don't want to talk about it. My oldest son, he's a Christian, and he's taking his theology classes to become a pastor.
Wow.
And he lives in Kirkland, Washington. And he's been married for 2.5 years, and they have a newborn baby, a 2-month-old baby. And they gave me a lot of support to come here, financial and just emotional. Of course, they were nervous about me coming because I've never done this before. But I knew I had to come here. God was sending me here.
What do you think is your next purpose in life?
My purpose is to serve Christ first and foremost, to bring people to Him. Our world is not getting any better. it's getting worse for people. And I just feel like we all need to have our Christ in our life, and it's such a calming to me. It's such a peacefulness that comes over me, thinking that He's there beside me day in and day out, and wherever He wants me to go, I will go.
What was your success point after all those traumas and this tough situation?
Just believing that you have to go through things in life, and you have a choice to survive or let them win. The people that are doing you harm, they can win by making you depressed, making you sad, or you could rise above it and go forward. But without Christ, because I'm pretty much a loner, so it's just me and God, a lot of times.
Now that you are a successful nurse for more than 42 years right now, the way I had, how does your success affect your faith? Or how does it impact your faith?
How does what affect my faith?
Your success as a doctor or as a nurse.
Oh, my success.
Yes.
Well, it's different because, see, in the United States, being 64 years old and not knowing computer technology, I'm just dumped.
So you don't know computer, any knowledge, you don't have any knowledge concerning computer.
I'm not fast enough for them.
Yeah.
I don't learn fast enough on the computer, but it's all in my head, right?
Yeah.
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 So being here in a foreign country, it's totally different.
Yes.
I'm very welcomed. I have the knowledge, I can teach, and it doesn't have to be on a computer.
So how did you know us until you come here?
This all came about, and it's kind of a different kind of story. I was going home to Washington State from Arizona to help a former student that took my CNA program in 2000. So she's 40 years old and she was going through a bad divorce. So I went home to help her with her legal papers. And on the way, I was almost in a head-on collision that would have killed me. So the car had hit a dead cow on the road, and so it flew up past my truck, and I could see his face screaming. That's how close his car was to me. I could see the driver screaming. And I looked in my rearview mirror, and that car went from end over end, not roll, went end over end 5 times. And I looked and I thought, no one's going to survive that. I'm going to be walking up on people that are dead. I called 911, got the police and the ambulance coming. They were 2 hours out. I was out in the desert of Nevada, and I was 2 hours from any kind of a city. It was the middle of the night, 3 o'clock in the morning, dark, cold, windy. I went up to the car, and there was nothing left of that vehicle except the frame. There was no windows, 2 tires were missing, no windshield, no glass, nothing. And those 3 people survived.
They
a
survived.
6-year-old little girl and the 2 parents. And I walked up to them and I said, only by the grace of God are we all standing here, because we should all be dead.
Yes.
And they didn't know what to say to me. They were stunned. They didn't know. And I thought, oh, they're non-believers. And I thought, oh, this is interesting. And so I just left it at that. And then the rancher came out, because in Nevada, when you hit a cow, you have to pay for the cow. It's open range. So if you hit the cow, you have to pay for it. But he didn't hit the cow. A semi-truck driver had hit the cow and left it on the road. And then he came along and hit the cow. anyways, I sat there for 4 hours waiting for his parents to come from Idaho to pick up the couple and their daughter. And then in the end, the police came, the ambulance came, they got checked out, and the mother had either a broken ankle or a sprained ankle, and the little girl just had a rash across her neck from her seat, her car seat. So that's fine. I get home after that. I'm helping my friend who's going through the divorce, and I'm helping her to rent out her basement to get her some more income. And I was up on a ladder and I fell off the ladder and I got a concussion. And so then I couldn't drive for 6 weeks. So then I couldn't get back to Nevada or to Arizona because one of my friends was dying and I was supposed to be down there taking care of him. So I finally get back down to Arizona. He's passed away. I missed him. He passed away on Monday and I got there Friday. And then my camper's there because I drive a truck and a camper, but I left the camper so that I could quickly go to Washington. And so I'm there trying to put the camper on by myself, which, it's impossible, but no one was around to help me. So in the end, I broke off the back of the jacks on the truck, the camper. So that's how I met Donna's son-in-law, Donna Oder's son-in-law. He came and helped me with my camper. So I was complaining to him about everything in life. And I said, all I've wanted to do is mission trips. That's all I've wanted to do. And he said, no way. And I said, yeah. He goes, well, my mother-in-law's leaving for Africa. And I said, no. And so he put me in contact with Donna, and here I am today.
Wow. It's kind of emotional.
Yeah.
Now, how can you advise there are people who say that I want to be like you? When I grow up, I want to be like you, I want to be successful, I want to travel the world. First of all, before that, how is your experience since it's your first time in Africa?
I would say to people that want to be successful or to be like me, don't give up. Persevere. You don't have to do it all at once. You can do little stages and be successful. And just be respectful, love people, and trust in the Lord to give you your path. And always ask questions and always have a mentor. It's good to have somebody that knows more. And that's usually a grandparent. Listen to your parents, listen to your grandparents. They're the ones with the knowledge. They've gone through stuff before. And, when I was younger, I didn't necessarily listen to my parents, but they knew more, And just be wise about your decisions and pray about it. Pray before you make a big decision.
Wow, that's nice. So, how do you plan on influencing people with your profession and ministry? Like now you have to help us in Africa, health-wise.
How do I take care of people here health-wise or myself?
How do you plan to influence people with
here?
In Africa, especially in Africa? Let's say especially in Africa, specifically in Africa.
I'm hoping that when I come back the next time, that I can start teaching my certified nursing assistant program to people to get them into the healthcare if they want to go to healthcare. But I don't know the rules and the laws here, so I have to look into that. But that's what I would like to do for the people of Africa. I want them to be able to take care of their family and maybe go into the hospital profession. But to be a certified nursing assistant, a lot of it is to take care of your grandma, your grandpa, your babies. It's just a good program to know. It's good to know CPR. It's good to know how to take care of a choking person. It's good to know what to do when someone's having a seizure. Just basic stuff. and how to just keep a wound clean. You know, it makes a huge difference if you keep that clean versus dirty, you know, because you can lose your leg if you don't take good care of a wound on the leg. So just to, and education is everything, but it doesn't mean you have to spend a lot of money on it. You know, reading, books, the internet, you know, there's many classes on the internet, free classes that you can take, you know. So I'm hoping that I can bring all of that to the people so that they have the access to build on their own lives, their own better health for themselves, better health for their family.
Now, as you're coming to Africa, you have the heart of service. So now maybe there are organizations or people who want to partner with you. Maybe they want to partner, they want to work together with you. What should they do, or what can they do to get you?
Well, I have my own business cards, and you know, more than likely just to phone me or write me a letter, you know, send it to me in the United States, or I don't know if I can have a mailing address here.
Yes, you can have it. You will give me, I'll write it somewhere here.
Yeah.
Because there are many people who are watching the program.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I would love to help them if there are people struggling going to nursing school or even into a doctor program. Maybe I can help them with their studies. If they're not understanding something, they can contact me and I can help them get through that problem. Because I know so much, you know, maybe, you know, and it, you know, if you're studying and you don't know how to do it, maybe I can help you learn it a different way, because there's lots of ways to learn.
Sure.
You know, by doing, by reading, by seeing. Like I said to you, nursing is a hands-on. So if you can get the experience, you can read all the textbooks you want. It doesn't mean that you're going to be successful on the floor helping somebody. You know, when you watch somebody do something, you learn it better. Because that's how I learn. I learn better by watching people do something. I'm not a good reader, necessarily. You know.
Awesome. Now, thank you very much for coming, and we appreciate your coming. Maybe you should now just tell people to watch this program, where this channel is called Megflix. Just tell people to subscribe. Just say your name and where you're coming from. And this channel is called Megflix. Tell people to subscribe and like, share.
Yeah. And so, yeah, to get a hold of me, it's Lasely Kirk. And then, you know, we can put my email up on there and my phone number. And even my physical address in the United States, or to get in contact with somebody here in Africa that's got an African address that can read me the letter, and then I can get back to them. I'd love to do that. I'm here to serve people in whatever your needs are.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
We really appreciate for coming. Say hi to people, to your family. Sorry for everything, but I just want to encourage you and tell you everything that happens in your life, whatever the hell may plan for evil, God turns for good and for our best. So whatever we experience, the negative thing we experience in our life is for our own goodness. Like you, that was an experience that God gave, that God had to let you go through. So now you are experiencing, you can advise any other person who is going through the same situation.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah, you take something bad and you learn from it.
Yes.
And you help others get through it.
Yes.
That's the main purpose. And it's just because you've gone through something negative, you don't let it control your life. You learn from it and you move on.
Thank you very much. Till next time. Bye.
Bye. Thank you.